Hello everyone, my name is Jake from Talk Too Much, and I am proud to present the first ever Blu Ray physical media video that I'll be starting with this channel. I just want to give a little haul. We are a third of the way into 2026, which is already hard to believe as is. And I thought, what better way to show off what has been the start of my 2026 and my little haul here. So I'm going to try and cut out as little as possible. I'll be honest about these movies, whether they're my wife's, whether they're mine. You're going to hear it from me. I don't know a lot of my wife's movies, but I figured I'd still show them off because this is just as much her collection as it is mine. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First one on the block, we got True Romance here. Now, I haven't seen it, but I am a sucker for Arrow Video, and I am excited to start this. It's got Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette. That's all you need. I've heard nothing but good things. And even my wife has said, I kind of want to see that. So I figured what better way to start it than with this awesome artwork here. So I'll give this a shot. I'm hopefully going to talk about it soon. Nothing but excited for this film. Next one up, for people who don't know, I am a Clint Eastwood fan. I've seen about 20 of his films. Go as far back as I can to the very first Sergio trilogy, and here I got Pale Rider. I haven't seen this movie yet. This is one of his westerns that's kind of a bit of a blind spot for me, other than I think Hang 'em High. So I actually have plans to go see this with my grandpa. I'm going to be bringing over my 4K over there, so I'm excited to kind of get to watch this for the first time. One thing I will say is all the Clint Eastwood movies that they put out on 4K, if you are a fan of the man, go buy the 4Ks. They are phenomenal. Are you guys done? Are you guys done? Anyways, so yeah, I'll be looking forward to watching this for the first time, letting you guys know what my thoughts are. Next up on here, and an exciting one for me, is my favorite movie of 2025. That's gotta be Marty Supreme. I know, everybody else will say it's Oscar bait, and I went into this fully thinking that, but at the very end, I was like, you know what? The man deserves it. The man deserves it. I had so much fun. There's so much chaos in this movie. I was so excited. The minute it went up for pre-order, I had to snag it. For those of you that don't know, this is not just about a movie about ping pong. It's more than that. It's just, there's so much more to that than I can simply say in like a minute or two, other than it starts with ping pong, but that's not how it ends. So give this one a watch if you can. Definitely a real blast for me. Another one I'm going to throw on here, I actually had this movie on DVD, and then thankfully to the good old Goodwill, I was able to snag it on Blu Ray, and that's A Wolf of Wall Street. Leonardo DiCaprio, as well as I believe Margot Robbie. Don't crucify me for if I got that wrong, but this was an old one. I haven't seen this in like years, and so I was like, you know what, $3, it won't hurt me. I can afford that. So it's in decent shape, nothing bad to the disc, so why not buy it? Switching it up here before I continue with the rest of the stack, I did want to start with a couple of Arrow movies. We got The Mask right here. Haven't opened it up yet. My wife says that I have seen this movie so many times, and yet I can't fully recall it. Unfortunately, I don't know if just my memories are goldfish, but I do remember enjoying this movie, but I need to rewatch it again because it's been so long since I've fully remembered what all goes on. I just remembered this being Jim Carrey's best performance, or one of his best performance. So I snagged the Arrow big old disc for that. So I'm gonna be giving this one a watch soon, hopefully unwrap it. It'll be a little bit of an excitement here for me. Another one from Arrow. Can you tell I like Arrow? I mean, I'm a big fan of them, but they also had a sale back in January, so I had to snag what I could. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trilogy. Now this is an exciting one for me because I was fortunately lucky enough to grow up in the Blockbuster era. And I do remember renting the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was always a fan as a little kid. I loved the Turtles. I didn't watch these on repeat religiously like I wish I did. But I did see this get put on 4K, and I was like, I'm going to hit a little bit of nostalgia here soon. So I'm very, very excited for this one. Definitely grab this box set while you can. I think there's another sale going on, so don't miss out. 50% off. You can't really beat that with an Arrow pressing, so be excited to check that out. All right, now we're going to breeze through the top here for a little bit. We got The Time Traveler's Wife. This is a pick from my wife, clearly. And all she said was Rachel McAdams was in it, and that was enough to justify for her wanting to get it. So we snagged it up. I have no clue what this movie is about whatsoever. I'm sure it's a nice little romance movie, probably a rom-com. I have no clue. I'll have to see how she feels about it after she watches it, but you can't go wrong with Rachel McAdams. I've enjoyed her Send Help movie and Mean Girls, and of course The Notebook. She's a great actress, so maybe if it's good enough, I'll watch it with her. Who knows? Now, another movie that I don't remember it being as bad as everybody claims it is, but we have The Purge Anarchy. Now, I am a sucker for a good Goodwill buy, so I found this at Goodwill, and I don't know why, but everybody in the reviews kept saying it was so bad, it was one of the worst ones. I didn't remember it being that bad. I might have been just a little late to the party, but I don't think it was nearly as bad as everybody claims it to be. So I am very much due for a rewatch on all the Purge movies. I felt more positive about them the first time I watched them, so maybe after it's been a couple of years, this will refresh my memory and it'll be as bad as everyone says it is. I don't know. There's only one way to find out, but this is another one I snagged. And the stack keeps getting smaller and smaller, and here's another one from my wife called Remember Me. Haven't seen this movie, don't know anything about it other than Robert Pattinson, and the one thing that I do find kind of funny is that he is quoted specifically from Twilight, which I think that movie is an abomination. It's one of my wife's absolute favorites, but I'll let her have it. I don't really get, other than it's set in early 2000s, so don't know if I'll be watching this, but it's just as much her collection as mine, so I gotta add it on here. Now we got a blast from the past here, The Karate Kid, the one with Jaden Smith. Now, I watched this movie when it first came out when I was younger. Don't remember a single thing about it. That's why I got it, because I was like, maybe this will hit a little bit of nostalgia for me. Who knows? But I definitely think it's probably not as bad as everyone says, right? I mean, obviously the original is the best one, but it can't be as bad as everyone says it is. Of course, I say that now. We'll get a little farther down the list. Oh my gosh, I can't speak today. Happy with this one, Don't Breathe. Now, if you are missing out on Fede Alvarez, who did Alien Romulus, I believe, he also did Evil Dead 2013, and here's another one right in between, Don't Breathe. I was so blown away with this, with Jane Levy as well as Stephen Lang. I was just in so much shock for what this movie was. Going into it, I was kind of like, oh, that's a nice little twist there. That's a nice little twist. Kept going. And it was only more chaos from there. I have not checked the second one out yet, but it was just at a second mark for $8. I figured I'd grab it. This is going to be a fun rewatch for me and my wife at some point. And here we have an Eli Roth underrated gem, Death Wish. I told the man to his face, Eli Roth, Death Wish is one of your most underrated prized possessions in your filmography. And he was actually kind of blown away to hear that from me, because it's nothing like his regular movies. It's not horror based, it's all action, but that's what I kind of love about it. It's a remake from the original, just with Bruce Willis, which it's so fitting, and as it is one of his last films that he ever did. I'm so happy to own this. I'm so happy I got so much enjoyment out of this, and I do think it needs a little bit more praise out here. Next one here, we got Black Swan. I got to watch this for the first time this year, and oh man, I enjoyed this so much. This is so fun. I thought this was also a beautiful slipcover. Look at that. Look how it just shines on through. That's amazing. And Natalie Portman shocked me. She shocked me so much. All I knew was that it was a thriller. I was like, it can't be that much. But no, it is so much more than that. It also has Winona Ryder, which I don't know a lot of showing that she's on here. But for when she is in the movie, it makes perfect sense. And once you finally get the whole story, what all happens, and just the ending, oh my gosh. This I'm definitely due for a rewatch. I already want to rewatch it. It's phenomenal. Can't praise this one enough. All right, for all you Marvel people, I hope you're happy. Iron Man 3 here. Now, I've been on this journey. before Avengers Doomsday comes out, I'm like, I want to properly be informed of the whole entire story. And I started this journey of watching every single Marvel movie, starting all the way back to, I believe, Captain America, but I'm going in the timeline as to how the events actually happened. So technically, I had to start with Captain Marvel and go all the way from there. And what I will say is that I don't think that Iron Man 3 is the weakest. Out of the three, I definitely think it's better than the second one. But I saw this, it wasn't that much. I was like, I gotta snag this because you know how it is. I don't have Disney Plus. It's like $3-4 to rent every single Marvel movie, and I'm like, I would rather just completely own it in case I decide to binge watch it again one day. So that was another reason why I snagged this, and it wasn't that bad. I liked it quite a bit. Definitely not as good as the first one, but still wanted to put this out here. All right, so I got a couple left, and before I hit the 4Ks, I'll hit a major 4K. But here's another one that I watched this for the first time with my wife, and I love this movie, which may be a shock for some people, but I'm a cheerleader. This movie is amazing. I love Natasha Lyonne in it. I thought she was such a blast. I loved what this movie was supposed to mean, what it was supposed to represent. I thought it was a very sweet story. It's not a guy movie. It's not for everyone, but I definitely think it's worth at least praising some. Give it a chance, fellas. It's really not as girly as you think it is. Just all the colors. It's very 90s. That's another reason why I love this movie so much. So I just wanted to shout this one out again, especially since this is a 4K. And I actually looked for the Blu Ray before the 4K came out, and it was pretty difficult. So I'm happy to finally have this. Now, we all know I'm still a sucker for Arrow. With that being said, Trick or Treat. I haven't explored many anthology movies. There's probably a handful I have. And let me know down below the comments if there's some that I might have just not be aware of. There are some of the great ones. Like, I haven't seen any of the Creep shows. I've wanted to, but I haven't gotten a chance to explore any of those. I do like the VHS films. I think those are very good. Not everyone's a hit, but I've seen the majority of those. And outside of that, I think this is the only other one. Halloween staple. Nothing else needs to be said about that. This is nothing but a Halloween staple. You are missing out. This is the perfect spooky movie to put out. I loved how simple and small everything slowly connected all together to where it's one big picture. But I love Sam. I think he's such a clever little kid. Look at that. And then also just the fact of owning this on Steelbook. I love the back of that with all the pumpkins and everything. Oh, that's great. That's so great. I've already watched this once this year. Probably gonna explore it again in around Halloween season. So, definitely we'll give this one another watch. Another one here that I got, and of course I'm representing the shirt. We got RoboCop. First time I watched this movie was on VHS, and I was blown away. And the reason why I was so blown away is I was like, you know what? It's been like 50 years. This still holds up. It still holds up. The violence is great in it. The gore is insane. It's not at all what you would expect from a 70s movie, and that's kind of what I love so much about it. Part man, part machine. That's all you need to know about RoboCop. It's so cool, and I had to definitely get this one a chance. And so I've watched all three of them. I like the second one. Won't say I love it like the first one. And the third one's a little bit of a miss for me. But if you definitely want a good 70s one, here you go here. I think it's 70s. Am I wrong about that? No, it's 80s. Forgive me. I got my decades messed up. It is 80s, but it still holds up. What's better than a little bit of a Walmart find? And here we have Corpse Bride. I haven't seen it yet, but I saw this. It was a fun little slipcover. It was only like $10 at Walmart, so I was like, I'm going to snag it, give it a watch. My wife has seen it. She's a big Tim Burton fan. I haven't seen every single one of his films. I've seen a lot of them. And this is one that's in that animation style that I just have not seen yet. So I'm looking forward to giving this one a watch. All right before we hit the 4Ks, the last little three I got right here, I'm going to hit with one more box set. And that would be the Child's Play Chucky collection here. I was set to meet Chucky, the man himself, Brad Dourif, in February. Unfortunately, he had to cancel because of the new Chucky movie that came out. But before he get canceled, I did buy this box set here because I love every single Chucky movie, even the worst of the batch, Seed of Chucky. But this collection is a must own for Chucky fans. I love it. I think it's just a simple, basic box set, but it has so much involved in it. I love Arrow. I'm so happy they did this. I'm so happy I snagged it while I could, because I think it's hard to find now, unless for an outrageous price. So I did want to give a little bit of a shout out to this here too. Another first time watch for me, at least I say first time. I probably have seen this when I was a little kid, but I don't remember anything about it. I own this on VHS. I figured why not own it on 4K too with Casper. This was so much fun to watch. I love Christina Ricci. I think all the ghosts and everything. This is a good one. I can't wait to show my child this. I'm really looking forward to that. And the 4K holds up. It holds up. It made me enjoy this movie even more when I watched it. And my second favorite Clint Eastwood movie we got right here, Dirty Harry. One of my favorite lines ever is just simply when he's holding the gun down, he's asking, did I fire 5 shots? Did I fire 6 shots? Only one way to find out. And it keeps, of course, there's more to that line. It's just, I'm going off the cuff here. I love this movie. I could rewatch it over and over again. It's one of his best ones. It's easily one of his most fun films. It's not a Western, so in case you're always like, Clint Eastwood makes nothing but Westerns, here's one to show you he doesn't. You just gotta look really hard in this catalog, and you'll find a lot of gems like this one. And last but not least, nothing that was but a complete surprise, is Boogie Nights by Paul Thomas Anderson. I watched this movie one battle after another, and like most people, I was like, let's go down the rabbit hole. And this was the first film I chose from his whole catalog to watch, and I was in shock between William H. Macy and as well as Mark Wahlberg. I was just like, whoa, this is not the movie at all I was expecting this to be. And I watched it with my wife too. She liked how 70s it was. The story was a little bit of a miss. There's just a lot going on for this movie, but it's still good. It's still really, really good. I would recommend this to anyone who is a fan of 70s and a fan of Paul Thomas Anderson. Give this one a shot. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This is my first Blu-ray video. I do plan to make more. Obviously, I can't cover my whole entire shelf right here, right now, but I do plan to in the near on future, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you all in the next video.